The last seat by the window. Every evening at 7:15 p.m., Ethan took the same train home through New York City. He always chose the last seat by the window, not because he loved the view, but because that seat reminded him of someone he had lost years ago. One rainy evening, the train was unusually crowded. Just before the doors closed, a young woman rushed inside. Her name was Lily. She looked around for a seat. The only empty seat was beside Ethan. She smiled and asked, "Is this seat taken?" Ethan looked at her and quietly replied, "Not anymore." She sat beside him. For the next 20 minutes, neither of them spoke. Then Lily noticed the book in Ethan's hand. "You've been reading the same page for 10 minutes. Ethan laughed. "Maybe I'm waiting for the story to change." Lily smiled. "Maybe you just need someone to turn the page." That sentence stayed in Ethan's heart. After that night, Lily began taking the same train every evening, same time, same seat, beside Ethan. They talked about their dreams, their childhood memories, their favorite places, and the people who had broken their hearts. Ethan discovered that Lily wanted to open a small flower shop. Lily discovered that Ethan secretly wrote music but was too afraid to share it. One evening, Lily asked, "Why are you afraid to let people hear your songs?" Ethan looked out the window. "Because every song reminds me of someone I couldn't save." Lily gently held his hand. "Then write one about someone you can." Ethan looked at her. For the first time, he knew exactly what song he wanted to write. Weeks turned into months. Their train rides became little dates. Sometimes they shared coffee. Sometimes they listened to music. Sometimes they simply watched the city lights together. Neither said the word love, but they both knew. Then, one Friday evening, Lily didn't come. Ethan waited. The train reached the final station. She wasn't there. The next evening, she didn't come either. A week passed, then 2. Ethan returned to the same seat every day, until one rainy night he found a small envelope on his seat. His name was written on it. Inside was a letter. "Ethan, I wanted to tell you something before I left. I'm moving to California for my dream job. I was afraid to say goodbye because I knew I'd fall apart. But there's one thing I regret. I never told you that you became my favorite part of every day. Maybe in another life we would have had more time, but if you ever hear the song you wrote for me, I hope you remember that I loved you." Ethan's eyes filled with tears. He looked at the empty seat beside him. Then he made a decision. The next morning, Ethan boarded a flight to California. He had no idea what would happen. He only knew one thing. He didn't want to spend the rest of his life wondering what if. After hours of searching, he finally found Lily. She was standing outside a small flower shop. When she saw him, she froze. "Ethan?" He smiled. "I think you forgot something." "What?" He pulled a small music player from his pocket. "I finished the song." Lily's eyes filled with tears. "Why did you come here?" Ethan stepped closer. "Because you once told me that sometimes someone else needs to turn the page." He took her hand. "I don't want another chapter without you." Lily smiled through her tears. "Then stay." Ethan whispered, "Forever?" She nodded. "Forever." He kissed her gently beneath the warm lights of her little flower shop. Outside, the rain began to fall, the same kind of rain that had brought them together on the train. Years later, the flower shop became one of the most beautiful places in the city, and beside the front door was a small wooden bench. Above it was a hand-written sign: "Some people are only meant to sit beside you for a moment, but sometimes that moment becomes your whole life."